Let's write diaries with children who are learning English as a second language. If you're like me, you, or pretty much anyone else in the world, you do not like to write on cue. Someone walking up to you and going, okay, it's writing time, go ahead, be inspired. It's very hard, if not impossible to do, but all good writers write out of discipline. And writing is really, really important for learning another language or even developing your first language. So I would suggest spending a couple hours at least skimming through a book written for teachers on journaling, because the topic is so broad. Yet most people just don't do it correctly, and it just becomes a trudging, boring activity, and no one wants to do it. The students aren't into it, the teacher isn't into it. All right? And when the students aren't into writing, then it's horrible writing, and then the teacher has to read it. So here's my bell. That's to tell you to keep things interesting and fun for the students. How do you do that with diaries? Well, I suggest reading a book, because it is super, super possible. Writing is awesome if taught correctly. But one thing to start with, value their writing. They're not going to value the diaries or journals if the teacher doesn't value them. So I suggest at least reading and giving some good comments to each student at least once a week. I write about one thing. What did I write about?
Went to the beach.
I went to the beach, yes. I told you what I did at the beach. What did I do at the beach?
Rode bicycle.
I rode my bicycle. How about Sobin, Jiyoung, or Sayan? Rode my bicycle. Did I take my lunch? Yes, I did. What did I take for lunch, Chad?
Oranges, bananas, and rice for lunch.
I took oranges, bananas, and rice. What kind of food do I like? Fruit. What is my favorite fruit, Gia? Do you know how to say this? Anyone? Say it.
Durian.
Durian. And I drew a picture. This is my diary. I write February 22nd. That's my diary. Ready? Okay. I will start. First talk. What should we put there?
Went.
Okay. Where did you go? Jeff's Academy. Right, I went to Jeff's Academy.
Hungry.
No, Chad had a little...
Hungry.
Stomachache or problem? Is it stomachache or problem?
Hungry.
Do you have a stomachache?
No.
That's right, problem.
Hungry.
The boys were loud. They wore dark
Jacket.
jackets. Not loud,
Quiet.
quiet.
Like rainbow.
Ooh, that's good. Like a rainbow. I asked you to write 4 things that you did this weekend. Did you have a great weekend?
Me.
Right, great weekend. Great?
Yes. Yes.
Mine was
So.
so okay. Because I did a lot of work, not very much playing. And then I started to feel a little sick yesterday, so my Sunday was not that good. Can you find 4 things that I did on Sunday?
Cleaning your.
I cleaned, or I was cleaning my apartment. That's 1. Did anyone clean this weekend? No cleaning. Did anyone do?
Me.
What did you clean?
My sister room and my room.
Your sister's room? Did your sister say thank you?
No.
Oh my gosh. Gia? Grape juice? So you're going to write 1 diary entry. Circle 1 thing on your paper that you wrote.
Suck.
What did you circle? Tae-woo is going to write a paragraph about looking at the moon. So, what words can he use for that? Where?
My house.
We're going to write that. Gag concert. Okay? Now, you are going to write about what Tae-woo did. You're going to say he. Use these words. Tae-woo, write about what you did. I'll give you 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to start right now. On the 45, we stop. Let's stop at the 12 when it gets to there. Ready? Go. And time. Pencils down. You did well. Why are you groaning? Put your name on your paper. Give your paper to the person next to you. Write 1 question for Tae-woo. Here's an exam person asked, "Hi Tae-woo, why are you talking about gag concert?" And one person asked, "What time do you look at the moon?" With your brother? Okay, I am going to write some words to help you with that. And so then, you're going to write about reading a magazine. Okay. Chad's going to write about playing volleyball.
Bowling.
What's that? Bowling. Okay. What did you eat for breakfast?
I eat milk.
So you drank milk.
I drank milk.
What did you eat for lunch?
I eat bibimbap.
What did you do that was fun?
I play soccer with my friend.
Okay. I'm interested in reading that. Taylor's on the roll. That's about science. You can tell what you think about science. You can tell what... Good, now you can tell her what you think. You say, I think it's da-da-da-da. When did you play soccer? Good, now you tell him when you played soccer or when you did something fun. Okay, here's how I check the diaries. I do 3 things. One is I give a comment. The other thing I do is ask a question. And the third thing I do is correct 1 or 2 parts of grammar, and you can see I highlight it. The students have to go back and rewrite it. If you don't make them do that, I'm pretty convinced they're probably not going to read it. So this one here, I just skim over the diaries because I don't want to spend a long time on them. And this girl really loves to write. As you can see, she writes every day. And I think she deserves a comment for each one, and it takes me just a second. Here I just, oh, she had lunch, da-da-da-da-da. So I wrote something about lunch, just the first thing that came to my mind. Here I wrote another comment. And I choose one each week for each student to sort of focus on, and I read every word from that entry, and this is the one I chose to focus on, and you can see I gave her 2 corrections there. She wrote, I practice little bit, and I think a little bit is a pretty frequent phrase, so I chose that one to correct. And she said hands are painful, and I think hurt is another frequent word, so I chose that as her correction. Half the class are reluctant writers, so they basically don't do their diary. That's why the 10 minutes of writing in class comes in handy, because I have seen improvement with those students. Here's one that we did in class. And you can see there's only one entry, so I focused on that. There's 3 grammar corrections. So I'm funny, he wrote. Up here he said, so I'm very funny. I corrected that one and said, so I had fun. And this one down here I did not correct for him. He's going to have to kind of realize that that correction is the same for this sentence as it is for this sentence. Just did a past tenser right there, and today I played with a water rocket. I think that's a frequent phrase too. So that's how I decide what to correct grammatically, is whether or not it's something you would use in a conversation frequently.
I'll buy me a roly roly, tooty tooty, secret double use, cause